Captain James Sterling was on a routine patrol mission in the uncharted sectors of space when his ship detected a distress signal. As a seasoned officer of the United Earth Fleet, he had encountered many emergencies, but this one was different. The signal originated from an unknown planet, Ilaria, known for its mysterious and elusive inhabitants, the Ilari, an elven-like race. Curiosity and duty compelled James to investigate. As his ship descended through Ilaria's atmosphere, he marveled at the planet's breathtaking beauty. Vast forests, sparkling rivers, and towering mountains stretched as far as the eye could see. The distress signal led him to a secluded clearing surrounded by ancient towering trees. In the center of the clearing stood a breathtakingly beautiful red-haired Ilari woman. Her emerald eyes shimmered with a mix of desperation and hope. Her delicate features and ethereal presence made her seem almost otherworldly. "Please help me," she pleaded, her voice melodic and filled with urgency. "I am Alara and I need your assistance." James was taken aback by her beauty and the sincerity in her eyes. "What happened here?" he asked, trying to remain composed. Alara explained that she was the last of her kind, and her people had been wiped out by a devastating plague. The distress signal was her last hope to find someone who could help her. "I need you to marry me," she said, her voice trembling. "It's the only way to save my people." James was stunned. "Marry you? Why?" Alara took a deep breath. "Our ancient texts speak of a union between an Ilari and a human that will bring forth a new era of prosperity and healing. I have no other choice." James was conflicted. The idea of marrying a stranger, especially an alien, was overwhelming. But the desperation in Alara's eyes stirred something deep within him. He could see the weight of her burden and the hope she had placed in him. "I need to understand more about your people in this prophecy," James said, trying to process the gravity of the situation. Alara led him to the ancient structure, revealing a hidden chamber filled with scrolls and artifacts. She explained the history of her people and the prophecy that foretold a union between an Ilari and a human. The text spoke of a time when the two races would come together to heal the land and restore balance. "I know it's a lot to ask," Alara said softly, her eyes pleading, "but I have no other hope. Will you help me?" James felt a deep sense of responsibility and compassion for Alara. He couldn't ignore the chance to save an entire race, even if it meant making a life-changing decision. "All right, Alara, I'll do it. I'll marry you." Relief washed over Alara's face, and she embraced James tightly. "Thank you, you have no idea what this means to me." Preparations for the wedding began immediately. The ancient texts described a ritual that needed to be followed precisely to ensure the prophecy's fulfillment. Alara guided James through the customs and traditions of her people, teaching him their language and rituals. The ceremony took place under the light of Ilaria's twin moons, in a sacred grove surrounded by towering trees and glowing flowers. Alara wore a flowing gown of shimmering fabric, her red hair cascading down her back like a fiery waterfall. James, dressed in traditional Ilari garb, stood beside her, feeling a mixture of nerves and determination. A priestess recited the ancient vows and James repeated them, feeling the weight of each word. As they exchanged rings, a powerful energy seemed to pulse through the air, connecting them in a profound and mysterious way. "With this union, we honor the past and embrace the future," the priestess declared. "May your love bring healing and prosperity to our land." As they kissed, James felt a surge of warmth and light enveloping them. The bond was sealed, and their fates were intertwined. The next morning, the transformation began. The land around them, once desolate and barren, started to show signs of rejuvenation. Plants sprouted from the earth, flowers bloomed, and the air seemed to hum with newfound vitality. Alara's health improved dramatically, and the weariness that had weighed her down seemed to lift. "Our bond has awakened the ancient magic of this land," she said, her eyes shining with hope. "We must share this gift with the rest of Ilaria." James agreed, and together, they set out to bring healing and restoration to the far corners of the planet. Their journey had just begun, and with each step, their bond grew stronger, promising a brighter future for Ilaria. Preparations for the wedding were in full swing. James and Alara worked tirelessly, ensuring that every detail of the ancient Ilari ceremony was perfect. Alara introduced James to the customs and rituals of her people, teaching him the significance of each element of the ceremony. The day of the wedding arrived, and the sacred grove was transformed into a breathtaking sanctuary. Flowers of every color bloomed, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of valerian blossoms. The twin moons of Alaria cast a soft, ethereal glow over the gathering. James stood nervously at the altar, dressed in traditional Alari garb. The intricate designs and flowing fabric felt foreign to him, but he was determined to honor the customs of Alara's people. As he waited, he marveled at the beauty of the setting and the significance of the moment. A hush fell over the grove as Alara appeared, walking gracefully towards the altar. Her gown shimmered like liquid silver, and her red hair cascaded down her back, glowing in the moonlight. She was a vision of ethereal beauty, and James felt his breath catch in his throat. The ceremony began with a series of blessings from the priestess, who invoked the ancient spirits of Alaria to witness the union. James and Alara exchanged vows, promising to support and cherish each other for all eternity. As they placed rings on each other's fingers, a powerful energy seemed to pulse through the air, enveloping them in a warm, radiant light. With this union, we honor the past and embrace the future, the priestess declared. May your love bring healing and prosperity to our land. As James and Alara kissed, the energy around them intensified, and the ground beneath their feet seemed to hum with life. The bond was sealed, and their fates were intertwined. The morning after the ceremony, James and Alara awoke to find the land around them undergoing a remarkable transformation. The once barren and desolate landscape was now teeming with life. Plants that had withered and died were sprouting anew, flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, and the air was filled with the sound of birdsong. Alara's health had also improved dramatically. The weariness and sadness that had plagued her for so long seemed to have lifted, replaced by a newfound vitality and strength. Our bond has awakened the ancient magic of this land, she said, her eyes shining with hope. We must share this gift with the rest of Alaria. James agreed, and together they set out on a journey to bring healing and restoration to the far corners of the planet. As they traveled, they encountered various challenges and dangers, but their bond grew stronger with each trial. In their travels, they discovered that the energy they had awakened could be harnessed to heal not only the land, but also the people of Alaria. Those who had been afflicted by the plague began to recover, their health and strength returning. The transformation was nothing short of miraculous, and word of their journey spread quickly. James and Alara's journey took them to remote villages and ancient ruins, where they shared their gift and worked to restore the balance of the land. Along the way, they forged alliances with other survivors and formed a network of supporters who shared their vision of a healed and united Alaria. As their influence grew, so did the envy and resentment of those who opposed them. A faction within the council, led by a cunning and ambitious leader named Cadris, sought to undermine James and Alara's efforts. Cadris believed that the prophecy was a threat to his power and conspired to turn the council against them. Despite the growing opposition, James and Alara remained determined to fulfill their mission. They knew that the true power of their bond could not be suppressed, and they were willing to fight for the future of Alaria. James and Alara's journey to restore Alaria was fraught with peril. The land, though slowly healing, was still home to dangerous creatures and treacherous landscapes. They traveled through dense forests, across arid deserts, and over towering mountains, always driven by their mission to heal the planet and its people. One night, while camping in a remote valley, they were ambushed by a group of raiders who sought to capture Alara and use her powers for their own gain. James fought valiantly to protect her, but the raiders outnumbered them. Just when all seemed lost, Alara tapped into her inner strength, unleashing a burst of energy that incapacitated their attackers. "We must be careful," Alara warned, her eyes filled with determination. "There are those who will stop at nothing to exploit our bond." As they continued their journey, they faced numerous other challenges. In one village, they encountered a group of plague survivors who were distrustful of outsiders. James and Alara had to earn their trust by helping to heal the sick and restore the village's crops. In another region, they discovered an ancient ruin guarded by fierce territorial creatures. To access the hidden knowledge within, James and Alara had to work together to outsmart and evade the guardians, all while maintaining their focus on their ultimate goal. Through each trial, their bond grew stronger. They learned to rely on each other completely, drawing strength from their union and the love they shared. Alara's powers continued to evolve, and James's resourcefulness and courage proved invaluable. Realizing they couldn't succeed alone, James and Alara sought the help of other survivors scattered across Alaria. They formed alliances with various tribes and communities, sharing their knowledge and powers to heal the land and its people. One of their most important allies was a wise and ancient Alari named Elda, who had lived through many generations and possessed a deep understanding of their world's mysteries. Elda became their guide and mentor, helping them navigate the complexities of their mission. Under Elda's guidance, James and Alara organized a council of leaders from different tribes. Together, they devised a plan to restore Alaria, using their combined resources and the power of the prophecy. "We must unite our people," Elda said during a council meeting. "Only through unity can we hope to heal our world and protect it from those who seek to harm us." James and Alara traveled across Alaria, bringing together leaders and healers, warriors and scholars. They shared their vision of a united Alaria, where humans and Alari could live in harmony and prosperity. Slowly but surely, they gained the support of those who had once been divided by fear and mistrust. Their growing alliance faced its first major test when a powerful storm threatened to destroy a coastal village. James and Alara led a team of healers and warriors to the village, working tirelessly to protect the inhabitants and minimize the damage. Their efforts were successful, and the village was saved. In the aftermath of the storm, the village leaders pledged their support to James and Alara's cause. "You have shown us the power of unity and the strength of your bond," one leader said. "We will stand with you in your quest to heal Alaria." As their alliance grew, so did the opposition from those who sought to undermine their efforts. Kadris, the ambitious leader who had opposed them from the start, continued to spread rumors and sow discord among their supporters. He believed that the prophecy was a threat to his power, and would stop at nothing to destroy James and Alara's union. Despite the challenges, James and Alara remained determined. They knew that the true power of their bond could not be suppressed, and that their mission was more important than ever. With the support of their allies and the guidance of Elda, they pressed on, ready to face whatever obstacles lay ahead. Together they forged a new path for Alaria, one filled with hope, unity, and the promise of a brighter future. Their journey was far from over, but they knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome any challenge and fulfill the prophecy that had brought them together. As James and Alara's influence grew, so did the envy and resentment of those who opposed them. Kadris, the cunning and ambitious leader who had always been a thorn in their side, intensified his efforts to undermine their work. He saw their growing alliance as a direct threat to his power and was determined to put an end to their mission. Kadris began spreading insidious rumors about James and Alara, accusing them of using dark magic and deceiving the people of Alaria for their own gain. His words sowed seeds of doubt and mistrust among their allies, and some began to question James and Alara's true intentions. During a council meeting, Kadris made his move. "These outsiders have brought nothing but chaos and false hope," he declared. "We must reclaim our destiny and reject this union before it destroys us all." The council was divided and tensions ran high. James and Alara tried to defend their actions, but Kadris's words had already taken root. The atmosphere was charged with suspicion and fear, and it became clear that a rift was forming within the alliance. "We are here to heal and unite Alaria, not to bring destruction," James argued passionately. "Our bond has already brought so much good. We cannot let fear and lies tear us apart." Despite their best efforts, the council voted to exile James and Alara, stripping them of their authority and banishing them from the central lands of Alaria. Heartbroken but determined, they retreated to the remote wilderness, where they continued their mission in secret. In their exile, they found new allies among the disenfranchised and forgotten, who shared their vision of a healed and united Alaria. Together, they built a hidden sanctuary where they could continue their work without interference. This sanctuary became a beacon of hope for those who believed in their cause and sought refuge from Kadris's tyranny. Word of James and Alara's sanctuary spread, and more people joined their cause. The sanctuary became a thriving community, dedicated to restoring the land and challenging the oppressive rule of Kadris and his followers. It was a place of learning, healing, and unity, where humans and Alari worked side by side to achieve a common goal. James and Alara trained their new allies, teaching them how to harness the energy of their bond to heal and protect. They formed a formidable resistance, ready to reclaim their rightful place in Ilaria. Their efforts were bolstered by the wisdom of Elda, whose guidance proved invaluable in navigating the complexities of their mission. One night, as they planned their next move, Alara received a vision from the ancient spirits of her people. "The time has come," she told James. "We must confront Cadris and the Council. Our destiny awaits." With their forces gathered and their resolve unshaken, James and Alara led the resistance in a daring assault on the Council's stronghold. The battle was fierce and intense, with both sides fighting for control of Ilaria's future. James and Alara's bond proved to be their greatest weapon, as their combined energy inspired and empowered their allies. They fought with a unity and purpose that could not be matched, driving back Cadris's forces and breaking through the stronghold's defenses. As they reached the council chamber, they confronted Cadris and his loyalists in a final showdown. The air crackled with energy as the two sides clashed, each determined to emerge victorious. James and Alara, fueled by their love and the prophecy's power, fought with everything they had. During the battle, Cadris revealed a dark secret. He had been the one to unleash the plague that devastated the Ilari, hoping to seize power in the ensuing chaos. His confession shocked the council and fueled the resistance's determination to end his reign. "Your greed and ambition have caused enough suffering," Alara declared, her voice filled with righteous fury. "Your time is over, Cadris." With a final, decisive burst of energy, James and Alara overpowered Cadris, bringing him to his knees. The ancient spirits of Ilaria intervened, recognizing the true purpose of the prophecy. They bestowed their blessings upon James and Alara, amplifying their powers and allowing them to defeat Cadris once and for all. The council, witnessing Cadris's treachery and the strength of James and Alara's bond, disbanded their opposition and pledged to support the new leadership. The resistance emerged victorious, and the people of Ilaria celebrated their hard-won freedom. With Cadris defeated and the council disbanded, James and Alara set about restoring Ilaria to its former glory. They worked tirelessly to heal the land, using their bond to rejuvenate the environment and bring life back to the planet. The people of Ilaria, inspired by their leadership and sacrifice, rallied to their cause. Together, they rebuilt their communities and forged a new era of unity and prosperity. James and Alara's sanctuary became the heart of the new Ilaria, a place of healing and hope where all were welcome. Their bond, unbreakable and powerful, guided them through the challenges that lay ahead, promising a bright and prosperous future for their world. With the victory over Cadris and the council disbanded, James and Alara focused on healing the land and unifying the people of Ilaria. Their sanctuary became a hub of activity, drawing individuals from across the planet who were eager to contribute to the restoration effort. One evening, while poring over ancient texts in the sanctuary's library, Alara made a startling discovery. The texts contained more details about the prophecy, including information that had been previously overlooked. She hurried to find James, her heart pounding with excitement. "James, look at this," Alara said, showing him the ancient scroll. "The prophecy mentions not just the union of an Ilari and a human, but also the birth of a child who will usher in a new era of peace and prosperity. This child will possess the combined strengths of both our races." James read the text carefully, his mind racing. "A child? This changes everything. Our union was only the beginning. Our legacy will continue through our descendants." Their conversation was interrupted by Elda, who had also been studying the texts. "The ancient spirits have foreseen this," Elda said. "The child will be a symbol of hope and unity, a beacon for the future of Ilaria. But there will be those who seek to exploit this power." Alara's expression grew serious. "We must protect our future child and ensure they are raised in an environment of love and security. We cannot allow the mistakes of the past to threaten our future." As news of the prophecy's revelation spread, it inspired both hope and fear among the people of Ilaria. While many rallied around James and Alara, eager to support their mission, others viewed the prophecy as a threat to their own power and influence. A faction of former loyalists to Cadris, now leaderless but still dangerous, saw an opportunity to seize control. They believed that if they could capture James and Alara's future child, they could harness the child's potential for their own ends. They began to plot an assault on the sanctuary, determined to take control by any means necessary. James and Alara, aware of the growing danger, fortified their sanctuary, and prepared their allies for the impending threat. They knew that protecting their sanctuary was crucial not only for their safety, but for the future of Ilaria. One fateful night, under the cover of darkness, the Loyalists launched their attack. The sanctuary's defenses, although strong, were put to the test as the assault began. The air was filled with the sounds of battle, the clash of weapons, the shouts of warriors, and the cries of the wounded. James and Alara fought side by side, their bond empowering them and their allies. They moved through the chaos with a purpose, determined to protect their home and their people. The Loyalists were relentless, but the defenders of the sanctuary were fueled by their unity and determination. During the height of the battle, James found himself face to face with the leader of the Loyalists, a ruthless warrior named Zarek. "Your time is over, human," Zarek sneered. "Ilaria belongs to us." James met Zarek's challenge head-on, their clash a symbol of the larger conflict. The fight was brutal, but James's resolve and training proved superior. With a final decisive blow, he defeated Zarek, ending the immediate threat to the sanctuary. Alara, meanwhile, used her powers to heal the wounded and bolster their defenses. Her presence was a beacon of hope, inspiring their allies to fight with renewed vigor. As the battle raged on, she unleashed a powerful wave of energy that pushed back the Loyalists, forcing them to retreat. The siege was over, but the cost was high. Many had been injured, and the sanctuary had suffered significant damage. However, the spirit of the defenders remained unbroken. They had faced a formidable threat and emerged victorious, their unity and determination stronger than ever. In the aftermath of the battle, James and Alara gathered their allies. "We have proven that together we can overcome any challenge," James said, his voice filled with pride and determination. "But our journey is far from over. We must continue to protect our home and prepare for the future." Alara nodded, her eyes shining with hope and resolve. "The prophecy is clear. Our union has brought healing and unity, but the birth of our child will usher in a new era. We must ensure that they are safe and that their legacy is one of peace and prosperity." With the threat of the Loyalists quelled and their sanctuary secured, James and Alara looked to the future with renewed hope. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their love and their mission to heal and protect Ilaria. In the months following the siege, the sanctuary became a center of healing and renewal. The community grew stronger, and the bond between humans and Ilari deepened. The people of Ilaria worked together to rebuild their homes and lives, drawing strength from the unity that James and Alara had inspired. Alara's pregnancy progressed, and the anticipation of the prophecy's fulfillment created an atmosphere of hope and excitement. The sanctuary was fortified with new defenses, and trusted allies from across Ilaria arrived to offer their support and protection. One clear, moonlit night, Alara went into labor. The sanctuary's medical team, led by Nissa, a skilled healer and close friend of Alara, was prepared for this momentous event. James stayed by Alara's side, offering her comfort and strength. The birth was long and arduous, but Alara's determination and the support of her community saw her through. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, a cry echoed through the sanctuary, the cry of a newborn child. Nissa gently placed the baby in Alara's arms. "It's a girl," she said, her voice filled with joy. "A beautiful, healthy girl." James looked at his daughter, his heart swelling with love and awe. "Welcome to the world, little one," he whispered, tears of happiness in his eyes. Alara held their daughter close, her face radiant with maternal pride. "She is our hope, James, the embodiment of our union, and the promise of a brighter future for Ilaria." Word of the child's birth spread quickly, and the people of Ilaria gathered at the sanctuary to celebrate. The atmosphere was electric with excitement and joy. The birth of James and Alara's daughter was seen as a sign that the prophecy was being fulfilled, and that a new era of peace and prosperity was beginning. Queen Evalara addressed the crowd, her voice strong and filled with conviction. "Today we welcome the future of Ilaria. This child is a symbol of our unity and our hope. Let us all vow to protect her and to work together to build a world worthy of her legacy." The celebrations lasted well into the night, with music, dancing, and feasting. The people of Ilaria had faced many challenges, but their resilience and determination had brought them to this moment of joy and hope. The birth of James and Alara's daughter was a turning point, a new beginning for their world. As the months passed, James and Alara's daughter, named Alara in honor of their home, grew stronger and more vibrant. Her presence brought joy and hope to everyone in the sanctuary, and her bond with her parents was palpable. However, not everyone celebrated Alara's birth. The remnants of Cadrus's loyalists, though defeated, had not been completely eradicated. They viewed Alara as a threat to their ambitions and plotted in the shadows to capture or harm her. One fateful night, while the sanctuary was quiet and most of its inhabitants were asleep, a group of loyalists infiltrated the defenses. Their goal was to abduct Alara and use her as leverage to reclaim their lost power. James was awakened by a sense of impending danger. He quickly roused Alara, and together they hurried to Alara's room. They arrived just in time to see a shadowy figure attempting to take their daughter from her crib. "Stop!" James shouted, drawing his weapon. Alara's eyes blazed with fury as she summoned her powers, ready to defend their child. The loyalists were relentless, and a fierce battle ensued. James and Alara fought with everything they had, determined to protect Alara at all costs. Their bond and their love for their daughter fueled their strength, and they were able to repel the attackers. In the aftermath of the attack, the sanctuary was on high alert. Elda, their wise mentor, gathered the leaders and allies to discuss the next steps. "We cannot let our guard down," she warned. "The loyalists are desperate, and they will stop at nothing to destroy what we have built." James and Alara knew that they needed to take decisive action to protect their daughter and their home. They decided to form an elite group of warriors and defenders dedicated to safeguarding Alara and the sanctuary. "We must be proactive," James said, addressing the council. "We cannot wait for the next attack. We need to root out the loyalists and ensure the safety of our people." Alara agreed. "Our daughter represents the future of Alaria. We have a responsibility to protect her and to fulfill the promise of the prophecy. Together we can overcome any threat." With renewed determination, James and Alara led their allies in a campaign to dismantle the loyalist threat. They tracked down the remaining factions, confronting them with the full force of their unity and strength. The battles were fierce, but the resolve of the defenders of Alaria was unbreakable. As they confronted the last of the loyalists, James and Alara stood side by side, their bond stronger than ever. "This is for our daughter, and for the future of Alaria," James said, his voice filled with conviction. The final confrontation was intense, but the loyalists were no match for the combined might of James, Alara, and their allies. With their defeat, the threat to Alara and the sanctuary was finally eradicated. In the aftermath, the people of Alaria could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The future was secure, and the promise of the prophecy could be fulfilled. James and Alara's daughter, Alara, was safe, and their world was united in hope and purpose. As they looked out over their thriving sanctuary, James and Alara knew that their journey was far from over, but with their love and their unity, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident in the bright future they had built for their daughter and their people. With the loyalist threat finally eradicated, James, Alara, and their allies focused on solidifying the unity and prosperity of Alaria. The sanctuary continued to grow, becoming a beacon of hope and progress for all who sought a better future. The people of Alaria were inspired by the bond between James and Alara and their dedication to building a world of peace and cooperation. James and Alara dedicated themselves to ensuring that Alara would grow up in a safe and nurturing environment. They trained their elite group of warriors to protect the sanctuary and instilled in them the values of unity and compassion. The bond between humans and Alari deepened, creating a society where both races thrived together. One evening, as the sun set over the sanctuary, James and Alara walked through the vibrant gardens with their daughter. Alara, now a toddler, radiated joy and curiosity as she explored the world around her. "Look at her, James," Alara said, her voice filled with love and pride. "She is the future of Alaria, our legacy." James nodded, his heart swelling with emotion. "We've come so far, Alara, and there's still so much more we can achieve, for her and for all of Alaria." The sanctuary became a center of learning and innovation. Scholars, healers, and artisans from across the planet came to share their knowledge and skills, contributing to the growth and prosperity of the community. The exchange of ideas and cultures created a rich tapestry of progress, and the people of Alaria flourished. Queen Alara continued to guide the council with wisdom and strength, ensuring that the values of unity and cooperation remained at the forefront of their governance. Under her leadership, and with the support of James and Alara, Ilaria entered a new era of peace and prosperity. Years passed, and the sanctuary evolved into a thriving city, a symbol of the unity and resilience of Ilaria's people. James and Alara's daughter, Alara, grew into a strong and intelligent young woman, embodying the best of both her human and Ilari heritage. Her presence brought hope and inspiration to everyone she met. One day, as Alara prepared to address the people of Ilaria for the first time, James and Alara stood by her side, their hearts filled with pride. The city was filled with citizens eager to hear from the young woman who symbolized their future. "People of Ilaria," Alara began, her voice clear and confident. "Today we celebrate not just our past but our future. We honor the sacrifices and the love that have brought us to this moment. Together, we will continue to build a world of peace, unity, and prosperity." The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices echoing through the city. James and Alara exchanged a look of pride and love, knowing that their journey had led to this incredible moment. As the celebrations continued, James and Alara took a moment to reflect on their journey. They had faced countless challenges, but their love and determination had seen them through. They had created a legacy of unity and hope that would endure for generations. Walking through the bustling streets of the city, they marveled at the progress and the spirit of the people. The bond between humans and Ilari had transformed Ilaria into a beacon of hope in the galaxy, a testament to what could be achieved through unity and love. In a quiet moment as they watched Alara engage with the citizens, Alara turned to James. "We've achieved so much, James, and there's still so much more we can do." James smiled, his eyes filled with determination. "With you by my side, Alara, I know we can accomplish anything." As the first stars appeared in the night sky, James and Alara looked forward to the future with hope and determination. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their love and their commitment to building a brighter future for Ilaria. Together, they had created a legacy that would endure for generations, a testament to the power of love, unity, and the unbreakable bond between humans and Ilari. The new dawn of Ilaria had begun, and with it came the promise of a brighter, more prosperous future for all.